work Passport to Hell, by Qafzezi from the beginning, from the title prepares for that cry. That it constitutes the conscience of the Albanian intellectual caught in the trap of moral degeneration of transition, and transparency, i.e. corruption for on living with passports and smuggling. And selling the homeland and oneself. With the realistic distortion to the creep of rotten consciousness to the point of paraphrase, the author simply shows the true nature of the denaturation imposed by the so-called transition. Where it develops with the annihilation of moral consciousness. In the work they are accomplices and accomplices. Opposition and brothers as the authors and characters are as much copy as the protagonist, the natural sons of the vicious fathers. So the authors are alienated from the work and come to the background, before death and hell. The father is the veterinary adoption of the protagonist before the natural blockchain and sex-obsessed babes. The author's hell is the lack of social meaning of life, it is the lack of purpose. It is the mud of the ideal. What is the hope after death? Throughout the work the author elegantly uses the scalpel of satire to the grotesque and sarcasm. Of the nomenclature of the former communist Eastern pseudo-capitalism with the nomenclature of the dictatorship of the proletariat, their declared logic. In addition to the masterful use of the contemporary form of verbal conceptual art reaches up to a therapeutic psychology archaic of our time. A Cold War that turned into Peace of the Dead, and with such leitmotifs and refrains is included the whole micro-novel, of the theme. That he is in unison with it and the characters use it for post-mortem survival. The author knows how to rise above his means of expression, he conventionally owns every figurative whim of his. The artistic maturity of the work is evidenced by the jealous preservation of a constant level of humor and a harmonious flow of information throughout the unfolding of the topic. Writing in the first person immerses you in the intimacy and secrecy of a diary. Of the prenatal is presented as the beginning of the disappointments with which the ferric life of the author will be filled beyond. The press conference is the climax of the work. Where the mixing of the media with the intrigues of the geniuses he describes and even created hell is very current given the paradoxical rule of the media in modern public and political life. The work closes safely. Just like Voltaire's Candide, with a defeatist return home. Give a resonance to the work and the artistic form not much beaten in our literature of conceptual verbal art it adds much value and importance. The fine and modern figurative solution of the cover seals the merit of the author in another field of art, Lluka Qafoku Gazeta, Republika, the 22nd of February 1998.